Welcome to Clause 8, the #1 podcast on intellectual property. This special edition comes from the VIA Licensing Alliance Bridge Summit 2025 in San Francisco, where innovators, policymakers, and industry leaders explored the most pressing challenges and opportunities in SEP licensing today. Hosted by Eli Mazour and brought to you by TradeSpace, where ideas take flight.
So your entry to the IP world was through patent pools, so that's pretty cool from the beginning, I guess, of the modern era. How have you seen, patent pools, the role that they have played over the 20 years and how they've evolved?
It's a very interesting question. The basic template that the MPEG-2 licensors agreed to, and the United States Antitrust Division and the EC competition authorities and the Japanese Fair Trade Commission all signed off on, has pretty much stayed the same. But I think as the market's developed over the 27 years since that structure was put together, there have been a lot of developments to try to meet market needs. Some break down a little bit in focusing on only standard essential patents and licensees looking for implementation patents so that they're covered. There have been a lot of different types of technologies that have been covered by the pools, some pools forming over non-standardized technologies which present their own challenges. And most importantly, perhaps, has been the expansion of the focus on the evaluation of pools from a pretty much U.S.-centric point of view to now really a global point of view involving Chinese authorities, Korean, European, American, Brazilian, UPC, German. So it's really become a real international business and points out really the importance of conferences like the summit that brings together people from all of those places so we can share ideas and get brought up to speed as to what's happening in all these places.
You mentioned, I guess, our conversation in the beginning was you got involved when some thought that patent pools shouldn't exist in the first place, and now you're kind of involved in some of those discussions around the world where I guess similar ideas, and especially on the standard essential patents fronts, we saw some proposals in the U.S. and in Europe being proposed and withdrawn. I guess, where do you think things stand? Where do you think things will go in the future, I guess?
Yeah, so, that also is a really good question. I think there is an inordinate and I think somewhat detrimental focus on what's not working in the market. It really, if you do a dispassionate look at it and you don't listen to rabble-rousers on both sides, the system really is working. There are thousands of consensual licenses entered into through pool licensing. The amount of friction is low. And if you take, for example, just video codecs, the way the licensing market and the revenues from fair licensing has fueled innovation, not just from a technical point of view, where you have MPEG-2, MPEG-4, AVC, HEVC, VVC, and all the other standards that the MPEG group has put out, but it's also, fueled a lot of innovation in the products that incorporate the technologies. And I'm fearful a bit that, perhaps particularly the European Commission is more focused on the few disruptions in the system and is using really, to use a phrase, a sledgehammer to cure what really needs, a very small fly swatter. So I think we should not overregulate the market. My view is when governments and agencies to use a loaded word, interfere with the free market, that sometimes less positive things can come out of it. And I think if you look at the SEP regulations in Europe, and if you look at some of the court decisions in the UK and in China and elsewhere, I think there ought to be more of a push to allowing the market to solve the frictions that exist, because it's really only a small part of the overall market, which is really functioning at a very effective, efficient level to the benefit of innovators, implementers, and consumers.